Hey friends, hope everyone's doing good and staying safe. It's just been a while since I recorded a video, maybe about 2 weeks, which in the grand scheme of things is probably only the fourth or fifth video I've ever recorded, so it's not that bad to go a week between, I guess. I just wanted to show you guys again just something that's brought me a lot of hope in this time, and it's just a picture. Instead of drawing it, I have like a little sticker, so I thought that would be way easier. So I believe that we live in a broken world, and that's just because the world isn't perfect. We see it in COVID, we see it in our relationships. The world isn't exactly the way that we wish it would be. But what I believe and what the Bible says is that God didn't create the world to be broken. He created it to be a place of love where He actually walked with His people, and there was perfect relationship between us and God and people. And when people decided, I don't want God to be my boss, I want to go in my own way, and I want what I want right now. Um, that is how the world became broken. And every time we do that, every time we run away from God, that's a fancy word called sin. And that just means doing the opposite of what God's will for your life is, and at the smallest level. Um, and God is perfect and He is good, so anything that we do that is not in His will is called sin. And that's how we're here right now. And each of us kind of tries to find a way out of it, you know what I mean? So you can try to be a really good person to try to get out of the brokenness that you feel or feel like you're trapped in. Other people turn to distraction, whether that be addiction or TV or Netflix, it could be anything. Or pick a person, your job, anything that you can build your life around that gives you success. And all of these things are squiggly because they don't last forever. They act like bungee cords. Go out for a little bit, come right back in. So it seems like there's a bigger problem here that we can solve on our own power. But this is where the hopeful part comes in. Jesus saw us in our brokenness and that we were separated from God because of our sin, and He sent down Jesus. And Jesus lived a perfect life. He never did this thing called sin or ran away from God. He came into the broken world, showed us who God was and how to live. And He died on the cross. And when He died, He took all of our sin and that punishment that we deserve for sinning against God over and over again and trusting in ourselves. He took it on Himself, and paying the price that we should have paid. And then He rose again after the third day, proving that this wasn't the end and that He was the Son of God. He promised that if we turn from our sin and follow Him and make Him the King of our lives, because this is what it looks like to try to be in control of our own lives, that He'd make us new and restore us to right relationship with God. Not that the world's going to be perfect again like God intended from the beginning, but that we'd have a relationship with God and that He'd change us from the inside to be more like Jesus. So I put myself here because I made Jesus my King. So where do you see yourself? Do you feel like you're in brokenness trying to get out, or do you feel like you've made Jesus the King of your life and are in relationship with Him? But this gives me a lot of hope because it means I don't have to do anything to earn God's love. He already did this for me and made a way for me, and I just had to say yes. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Love you guys. Send any prayer requests my way.